In the quiet, open stretches of rural America, many towns have disappeared from the map. Some collapsed with the economy. Some faded as people moved away. Others were swallowed by nature. But Ravenbrook didn't fade, collapse, or crumble. Ravenbrook vanished, completely, in a single night. No sirens, no emergency calls, no reports, just silence, and a town frozen in time. Tonight, we open one of the darkest, strangest, and most suppressed mysteries in modern American history. Welcome to Shadow File Case. Ravenbrook was a small, peaceful community resting at the edge of the Black Pines National Forest, a place where time moved slowly and everyone knew each other by name. It had a single diner, a school, a grocery store, a church, and fewer than 100 homes. Nothing unusual, nothing dangerous, just a normal American town living a quiet, predictable life. Until the night of October 16, 1989. That day appeared completely ordinary. Kids played outside until sunset. The diner was open late, serving pie and coffee. Choir practice ended at the church just after 9 p.m. And then, everything changed. At 10:15 p.m., witnesses in nearby counties reported a sudden flicker in the power grid. Lights dimmed for a moment, then returned. At 10:22 p.m., the final phone call from Ravenbrook was placed. Just 4 minutes later, every form of communication from the town abruptly stopped. No calls, no radio signals, no activity. And at approximately the same time, a farmer located 12 miles away heard something unusual in the distance. A deep, metallic humming sound, like machinery vibrating beneath the ground. It lasted less than a minute, then vanished. That was the final moment anyone heard anything from Ravenbrook. The next morning, delivery drivers heading into town immediately sensed something was wrong. The roads were empty, no people, no traffic, no morning smoke rising from chimneys, just stillness, and a strange, unnatural quiet. When sheriff deputies arrived, what they found didn't resemble an evacuation. It resembled a paused moment in time. Homes were unlocked, breakfasts were half-cooked in kitchens, water taps were still running, televisions were left playing static. A school bus waited at the curb with the keys still in the ignition. Dogs were tied up, restless but alive. Every personal belonging remained in place: wallets, keys, ID cards, shoes. But every resident, all 312 of them, were gone. And inside each home, investigators noticed the same detail. Every clock had stopped at exactly 10:26 p.m. Not broken, just frozen. As if the entire town experienced the same interruption at the same second. The strangest discovery came next. Search teams spread across the forest, the river, and the nearby hills looking for signs of movement. But they didn't find a single footprint leaving the town. No tire marks, no migration trails, no signs of struggle or panic. It was impossible. 312 human beings don't vanish without leaving something behind. Yet Ravenbrook did. Federal agents arrived within hours. Unmarked vehicles filled the main street. Helicopters circled above the woods. The government told nearby communities that the area was undergoing environmental testing. But people living there knew something was wrong. Officials moved with urgency and fear. Teams performed soil tests, air scans, water analysis, radiation checks, and biological inspections. Every test returned normal. No toxins, no chemicals, no radiation. Nothing that could cause mass disorientation or disappearance. But the ground beneath Ravenbrook told a different story. In areas around the northern edge of town, the soil appeared disturbed, as if heavy equipment had been moved recently. and one investigator noticed faint tire impressions that didn't match any local vehicles. It looked like Ravenbrook had been the site of something unusual. Yet all official reports were sealed, and the town was quietly fenced off. Over the years, 4 major theories emerged. The first theory suggests a mass evacuation, a government order that forced residents out instantly. But this idea collapses immediately. No evacuation records exist, no shelter logs, no survivors, and no one leaves mid-meal or mid-shower during a planned evacuation. The second theory proposes a dangerous environmental leak, possibly toxic gas. But investigators found 0 chemical traces. And if there was a leak, animals would have died first. But wildlife around Ravenbrook was completely unaffected. The third theory claims a cult operated within the town, a group that orchestrated a mass disappearance. But no symbols, no writings, no meeting places, and no history of cult activity were ever found. The fourth theory is the one that unsettles those who studied the case. It centers around the strange humming noise heard the night the town vanished. Some believe Ravenbrook was part of a frequency experiment, a low-frequency sound wave capable of affecting human consciousness. There were classified military projects in the late 1980s that explored psychological effects of infrasound. But even if a frequency could disorient a population, it cannot explain why the people vanished. Not fainted, not collapsed, but disappeared. Whatever happened wasn't natural, and it wasn't accidental. Then came the discovery that reignited the entire mystery. In 2013, hikers exploring the Black Pines Forest stumbled upon an old rusted government sign behind dense vegetation. Restricted area, federal violation, do not enter. Behind it stood a steel gate attached to an overgrown path. At the end of the path, they found a bunker entrance welded shut. Huge steel doors sealed so tightly that cutting tools couldn't open them. Experts analyzed the coordinates. The bunker sits directly in line with Ravenbrook's center. Near the foundation, investigators found faint marks, old tire tracks, vehicle indentations, and a strange faded symbol sprayed onto the concrete, X26. Researchers later discovered that X26 was a discontinued government research code. Its files are locked from public access until the year 2067. Whatever happened in Ravenbrook, someone wanted it hidden for almost 80 years. Then came another twist. In 2018, a satellite image of the region leaked online accidentally. Researchers examined it closely. Everything in the image matched perfectly with sunlight direction: trees, houses, power poles. Except one thing: the clock tower. Its shadow pointed north instead of west. Experts tried to explain it as a rendering error, but multiple sources confirmed the shadow was real. The only structure tied directly to the final moment, 10:26 p.m., was the only one casting an impossible shadow, as if Ravenbrook was slightly out of sync with reality itself. Some believe the town slipped into a different dimension. Others think time disruption occurred. And a few believe Ravenbrook is still there, just not visible to us anymore. But officially, the case remains unsolved. The government still keeps the region fenced off. No visitors, no photographs, no explanations. 312 people vanished without a trace, and more than 30 decades later, not a single clue explains where they went or what happened that night. Ravenbrook remains one of the chilling mysteries in American history. A town frozen in its last moment. A place erased from maps, but not from memory. A story sealed behind locked files and silent officials. This is the Ravenbrook case, the town that vanished overnight.
You're watching Shadow File Case, where the hidden becomes exposed and the forgotten is brought back into the light. If you want more dark mysteries, secret files, and stories they don't want you to know, hit subscribe. We'll see you in the next case.